You know what drives me absolutely crazy? Watching preppers build a fortress in their house and think they're set. They've got freeze-dried food stacked to the ceiling, all the fancy tactical gear, and basically painted a giant bullseye on their front door for anyone who gets desperate. Look, I've been at this for a long time, and one of the first things you learn is that keeping all your preps in one basket is a rookie mistake. A house fire, a flood, or one determined group of people can wipe out years of preparation in a single afternoon. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying the world's going to turn into a zombie movie overnight. Most folks are good, and studies show that after most disasters, communities actually pull together. But most isn't all. When the trucks stop running and the stores are empty, desperation is a powerful motivator. It only takes one person, or one group, who's decided the rules no longer apply to turn your fortress into a treasure chest waiting to be cracked open. They won't just want your food, they'll want your tools, your medicine, your future. So what's the smarter play? It's about thinking one step ahead. It's about creating a hidden insurance policy. What if your most critical supplies weren't in your house at all? What if your real lifeline was 10 feet underground, completely invisible? Number 1. Water and water purification. Alright, number 1, and this is the absolute non-negotiable cornerstone of any plan, water. But more than that, it's the times means times to make safe water forever. You can last maybe 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. When the grid is down, your tap is a gamble, and natural sources can be full of invisible threats. So why bury it? Simple. 2 reasons. First, weight. A bug-out bag loaded with gallons of water isn't a survival plan, it's an anchor. It'll slow you down when speed is life. A hidden cache means you can move fast, knowing a supply is waiting. Second, security. A big stack of water bottles in your garage is an open invitation to trouble. A hidden water cache is silent security. So, what do you bury? It's a 2-part answer. First, you bury some ready-to-drink water in sealed bottles or tough water bricks. This is your grab-and-go supply for when you first reach the cache. It's the water you drink while you figure out your next move. But here's the secret, the real game changer. You bury the times tools for purification asterisk. This is how you get long-term water independence. Your cache needs a layered system. Start with a high-quality water filter, like a Sawyer squeeze. These things can clean thousands of gallons, but filters can break, freeze, or clog. That's amateur hour to rely on one thing. So you also bury chemical backups. Purification tablets are lightweight and have a long shelf life. A small bottle of plain, unscented bleach works too, but know its limits. Unopened, it's good for up to a year, but once you open it, that clock starts ticking down to about 6 months, so it needs to be rotated. Number 2, long-term food. With water handled, number 2 is calories. In a crisis, your body is a furnace burning fuel like crazy from stress and physical work. Being hungry doesn't just suck, it makes you weak, stupid, and sick. Your home pantry is your first line, but a buried cache is your ace in the hole. The rule for cached food is simple. Max calories for minimum space. This isn't gourmet hour, it's raw fuel. Freeze. Dried meals in Mylar pouches are the gold standard. They're light, last 25 years, and just need hot water. When you buy them, look at the calorie count. Go for the big numbers. Next, MREs, or meals ready to eat. They're heavier, but they have a huge tactical advantage. You can eat them cold, right out of the pouch. If you've just gotten to your cache, maybe with trouble on your heels, you might not have the security to start a fire. An MRE lets you eat on the move, quick and quiet. Supplement those meals with no-cook, high-energy snacks, protein bars, energy bars, that sort of thing. Think of them as the immediate energy boost you get the second you open the cache. And here's an old-school one, hardtack. It's not delicious, let's be real, but this biscuit of flour and water is a brick of carbs that will last practically forever if you keep it dry. Finally, throw in some morale boosters, instant coffee, hard candies, sugar, honey. Trust me, after a week of stress and eating bland food, a small taste of normal is a massive psychological win, and honey is amazing. It never goes bad if sealed, and it's a natural antiseptic. Now listen, the container is everything. It has to be 100% waterproof and rodent-proof. A sealed PVC pipe is a great option. Inside, use Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for another layer of protection. Taking a shortcut here is a catastrophic failure. Don't do it. Number 3. The fire-making trinity. After water and food, number 3 is the ability to make fire. Fire is a force multiplier. It purifies, cooks, warms, and keeps you sane in the dark. It's not a luxury, it's a core survival tool. We don't bury one fire starter, that's leaving things to chance. We bury a trinity of them. First, the simple and modern, a Bic lighter. A dozen of them. They're cheap, they work, and when your hands are numb and you're shaking, you'll thank me for its dumb simplicity. Wrap them in plastic or vacuum, seal them to keep the fuel from evaporating. Second, the foolproof backup. A ferrocerium rod. A ferro rod doesn't care if it's wet or frozen. Scrape it, and you get a shower of 5,000-degree sparks. It's the ultimate reliable tool that will give you thousands of strikes. Third and final, a combo of stormproof matches and a magnifier lens. Stormproof matches will light after being dunked in water and stay lit in the wind. The lens, like a credit card Fresnel lens, is your forever fire starter. As long as there's sun, you can make a fire. No fuel, no moving parts. But here's the part people always forget. You must also cache tinder. All the fire starters in the world are useless if all you have is wet wood. Cache some cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, or some commercial fire starters. Vacuum seal them, so they are guaranteed to be bone dry the moment you need them. With this trinity, you can command the power of fire whenever you need it. Number 4, shelter and cordage. Number 4, shelter. Exposure is a silent killer, and it can get you even in mild weather if you're wet. You need a way to get out of the wind and rain, fast. The core of this kit is a high-quality, heavy-duty tarp. And don't cheap out here. Get a good 10x12 or 12x12-foot ripstop tarp in a dull, natural color like olive drab or brown. You're trying to hide, not advertise your campsite. Make sure it has plenty of strong tie-out loops. To put that tarp up, you need cordage, lots of it. Paracord is king. A 100-foot hank of real 550 cord is your minimum. And here's a pro tip nobody talks about. You can pull out the 7 inner strands, giving you hundreds of feet of finer cord for smaller jobs like repairs or snares. Also, throw in some heavy-duty zip ties. They are incredibly useful for quick jobs. To complete the kit, include some good tent stakes. Yeah, you can carve them from sticks, but having a set of metal stakes is faster and more reliable, especially if the ground is frozen. Finally, and this is critical, cache at least 2 Mylar emergency space blankets. If you get to your cache cold and wet, the very first thing you do is wrap yourself in one of these to reflect your body heat back at you. They weigh nothing and could literally save your life before you even get your main shelter built. Number 5, Ampere's Comprehensive First Aid and Trauma Kit. Number 5, a real first aid kit. And I'm not talking about the boo-boo kit with cartoon bandages you have under your sink. In a world without 911 or doctors, you are the highest medical authority. Every cut can become a life-threatening infection. Why bury it? Because these supplies are gold. In a crisis, desperate people will be looking for antibiotics and trauma dressings. A hidden, untouched medical kit is the ultimate backup. Think of it in 2 parts. First, trauma care for the big, scary stuff that can kill you in minutes. This is non-negotiable. Tourniquets. Get at least 2 modern ones like a CAT or SOF, T, and get trained on how to use them. 1, hand it on yourself and on others. This isn't optional. Pressure dressings. Israeli-style bandages are an all-in-one tool for stopping serious bleeding. Hemostatic gauze. This is gauze with a clotting agent like QuickClot. For deep wounds where a tourniquet won't work, this is what you need. Chest seals. For a puncture wound to the chest, this prevents a collapsed lung. Splinting material. A SAM splint is light, reusable, and can immobilize almost any bone. Second is general health care for everything else. This means a ton of antiseptic wipes, saline for flushing wounds, bandages of all sizes, medical tape, and painkillers like ibuprofen. And don't forget anti-diarrhea medication. Trust me on that one. If you can legally and safely acquire broad-spectrum antibiotics and know how to use them, they will be worth more than gold. Number 6, the essential toolkit. In a grid-down world, your ability to build, fix, and improvise is a superpower. You become the handyman, the mechanic, the engineer. We're not burying power tools that will be useless without electricity. We're talking timeless, hand-powered tools that always work. The heart of this kit is a high-quality multi-tool, a Leatherman wave or something similar. It's a toolbox on your belt. Next, you need a fixed-blade knife. A solid, full-tang knife with a 4 to 6 inch blade is your primary workhorse for everything from making fire tinder to defense. Bury it with a sharpener. A dull knife is a liability. To go with the knife, you need a folding saw. A Baco Laplander is incredible. It's safer and uses less energy than a hatchet for cutting firewood. The workhorse of your tool cache, though, will be a military-style folding e-tool or an entrenching tool. You'll use this to dig up your other caches, dig a latrine, chop roots. It does everything. Finally, round it out with a few key things: a roll of quality duct tape, a roll of mechanics or snare wire, and a pair of heavy-duty work gloves. Your hands are your most important tools. Protect them. Here's the secret to burying tools so they don't turn into a pile of rust. You have to prep them. Liberally coat all the metal parts in oil or a rust inhibitor, wrap them in an oiled rag, and throw in plenty of desiccant packs inside your waterproof container. Don't get lazy on this step. Number 7. Illumination and power. When the grid fails for good, it's going to get darker than you can possibly imagine. Being able to create light on command is a massive safety advantage. Your primary light sources should be modern, efficient LED headlamps and flashlights. A headlamp is key because it keeps your hands free to work or defend yourself. The second, equally important part, is batteries. Lots of them. Lithium batteries are the best for long-term storage. They last over 10 years and work great in the cold. And here's a pro tip that took me years to figure out. Standardize your devices to use the same 1 or 2 battery types, like AA or CR123A. It simplifies everything. But batteries eventually run out. For real long-term energy independence, your cache must include a way to recharge. That means a small, portable solar panel, a power bank, and rechargeable batteries with a USB charger. This creates a self-sustaining power cycle. Sun charges the panel charges the bank charges your gear, and of course, throw in some non-electric backups. Glow sticks and long-burning emergency candles. Redundancy is the name of the game. Number 8. Communication, information, and navigation. In the chaos, knowing what's going on and where you're going is just as valuable as food or water. The single most important item here is a hand-crank, solar-powered NOAA weather radio. It's your ear to the world when the internet and phones are dead, potentially giving you info on safe zones or relief efforts. But just as important is knowing how to navigate that world. Your smartphone GPS will be a paperweight. This is where you go old school. Your cache must have detailed topographic maps of your area and any evacuation routes. A topo map shows you the terrain, the hills, valleys, and water sources. And you pair that map with a real high-quality compass, not a cheap bubble compass. A good baseplate or lensatic compass. But here's the thing. A map and compass are useless if you don't know how to use them together. Practice now. Learn how to orient a map and shoot a bearing. Your life could literally depend on it. For signaling, cache a signal mirror and a loud P-less whistle. The flash from a mirror can be seen for miles, and 3 blasts from a whistle is the universal distress signal. And a quick tip, wrap your radio and any other sensitive electronics in a few layers of aluminum foil before putting them in their waterproof container. It's a makeshift Faraday cage. It's not a 100% guarantee against an EMP, but it gives your gear a fighting chance. Number 9. The firearm and defensive tools. Look, nobody wants to think about this part, but in a world without rules, your greatest threat may not be starvation, but other people. You have to have a way to protect your family and your preparations. For a cached weapon, think versatility and utter reliability. A pump-action 12-gauge shotgun, an AR-15 platform rifle, or a proven, reliable handgun are all top contenders. The best firearm is the one you have trained with extensively and are completely proficient with. But listen to me, and I cannot stress this enough. You must know your local, state, and federal laws. I am not a lawyer, and in many places, burying a firearm like this is a serious crime. You have to do the homework. The legal responsibility for this is 100% on you. If firearms are not an option for you, or as another layer of defense, a large canister of bear spray is a powerful deterrent that can give you the time you need to escape a bad situation. Your fixed-blade knife and your e-tool from the tool cache can also be used as formidable defensive weapons if you have no other choice. Number 10. Ammunition. This gets its own category because it's that important. A firearm without ammunition is just an awkward club. In a long-term crisis, ammunition will become an invaluable currency. You can use it for defense, for hunting, and for barter. You can never have too much. Your cache should contain a significant, heavy supply of ammunition for every firearm you plan on using. Proper storage is everything. You have to keep it dry. The best way is to use military surplus ammo cans with good, intact rubber gaskets. They are waterproof and tough as nails. Before you latch it shut for the last time, throw in a few large desiccant packs to absorb any moisture in the air. This is non-negotiable. A corroded round won't fire when you need it most. Number 11. Hygiene and sanitation. It's one people almost always overlook. Hygiene. The invisible threats bacteria and disease can take you down just as surely as a visible one. When sanitation systems fail, keeping clean is about disease prevention. The core of this kit is the basics. Bar soap. It's compact and lasts. Toothbrushes and toothpaste. Trust me, a dental abscess in a world without dentists is a nightmare you don't want. Include plenty of hand sanitizer and wet wipes for times when water is too precious to use for washing. For women, feminine hygiene products are an absolute must. They will be impossible to find. And one of the most useful items you can cache: heavy-duty contractor garbage bags. You can use them to manage waste, waterproof gear, as an emergency poncho. The list is endless. And yeah, cache a good amount of toilet paper. It's bulky, but for sanitation and morale, it's worth its weight in gold. Compress the rolls by removing the cardboard tube. Number 12. Barter and trade goods. In any long-term crisis, a new economy will pop up, and it'll be based on trade. The smart move is to have a cache of desirable items you can trade so you don't have to dip into your core survival supplies. This is your economic toolkit. Think about things people are addicted to or will desperately miss. Coffee. Instant coffee is best. It's light and has a long shelf life. People dependent on caffeine will trade you for it. Sugar, spices, hard candy, chocolate. In a world of bland food, flavor and comfort are worth a fortune. Pro tip: keep this cache separate from your main lifelines. You never want to lead a trading partner, no matter how friendly they seem, to the location of your food and security supplies. Number 13. Morale and legacy items. Alright, number 13. This one might sound soft after talking about guns and ammo, but in the soul-crushing grind of a real crisis, this is absolutely critical. This is the cache for your humanity. First, morale. This is about comfort and distraction. Pack some pure comfort foods like Twinkies or your favorite hard candy. After weeks of survival rations, it's an unbelievable boost. Pack a deck of cards, a few good books, and a journal and pen. Writing down your thoughts is a way to process the trauma and stay sane. Second, and this is the profound part, legacy. This is about preserving who you are. On a USB drive, save scanned copies of all your critical documents, passports, birth certificates, deeds, and most importantly, family photos. But don't just rely on digital. Print out copies of your most important family pictures. In a world where all the screens are dark, holding a physical photograph will be priceless. Maybe include a small amount of cash or precious metals. You protect this cache like it's the crown jewels. Put the USB drive and photos in a waterproof case, wrap that in several layers of aluminum foil, and then seal it inside a metal ammo can. This gives it physical protection and acts as a makeshift Faraday cage. This final cache is your anchor to the past and your investment in the future. It's the reminder of why times you are fighting to survive. So there you have it, 13 categories of supplies. The big takeaway here is one of the most important principles in all of prepping: resource dispersal. You never ever put all your eggs in one basket. A well-hidden cache is your ultimate insurance policy. It's the silent, patient guardian of your future. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you have that lifeline out there waiting for you is immeasurable. It allows you to move from a position of fear to a position of quiet confidence. Now look, this is not a simple weekend project. It requires careful planning, real investment, and hard physical work. You have to pick your locations smartly, you need the right containers, and you have to use the right preservation methods. And most importantly, you have to practice. Practice navigating to your cache locations. Practice using the gear you've stored. A cache you can't find or a tool you don't know how to use is just expensive garbage you buried in the woods.